Yo, 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 back once again. Back once again. Back once again with the Renegade Master. B-Boy Funk, power to the people. Back once again in the Renegade Master. B-Boy Funk with the ill behavior. Okay. Good morning. Hello, welcome. It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo, with yet another episode of Red Stone Lapis Lazuli. Hello, good morning. Hey, let me switch back here. Let's hope. Oh, it worked. Oh, no, it didn't. It's dying. It's gonna die. Oh, it went down. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. I don't know. Hey, check out my spiffy thing right here, right? Look what I'm wearing. Isn't this cool? Isn't this thing cool? It's made of real hemp. It's made of real hemp. I bought it from the seamstress herself, the actual woman who made it in Dali, China. I paid like 350 won. There's a lot of money for this. A lot of money for this thing. But it was her own labor, dude. It was her own labor. So I was like, okay, dude, here it is. Dali, China. Yeah, she had a little tiny place. Little tiny. And I didn't even know, right? I had no idea. I was in the old town of Dali, not the new town. I was in the old town. And I was hanging out with this French guy. Super cool French guy, and he's the one who showed me it. And he was gonna buy it himself, but he was like, that's like a bit expensive. But I'm like, yo, it's September, we're like in the mountains, I'm kind of cold. This is hemp, which is pretty neat, so I'm gonna buy it. I went back and I bought it. I paid full price. Because I started doing the haggle thing. She was like, no, like absolutely no haggling. I was like, okay, firm, all right. I hate haggling, dude. I hate the whole haggle thing. I hate it. Anyways, hey, welcome to Sunday morning. Here I am. This is a raid farm designed by Wattles, and essentially I go out and I get a debuff called Bad Omen, but unlike before when I would work really hard to avoid it, now I want to get it. I want to get the debuff of Bad Omen, because then I've created this arena, and what happens is we're out in the middle of the ocean, so there's nowhere for any monsters, any bad guys to spawn except for on my platform that I made, and I have them funnel into this area where they'll like, down there is a villager, so they're trying to get to the villager to kill the villager. But it's a big trap. It's a trap. The whole thing's a trap. It looks, yeah, it's a trap. So down here in the depths, at the bottom, I have the villager, safe and sound. Hello, sir. You're safe and sound, right? Safe and sound. And then all the bad guys fall into this pit where they're almost killed, and I just finish them off here, and I take their fantastic loots over there. And yeah, we're under the water, under my giant platform, under the sea. I love this shader pack, number one. Number two, the shader pack by itself won't do it. What this is, in addition to the shader pack, is a resource pack. There are 2 resource packs I'm using, at least 2. I'm using Vanilla Normals by Domino Korean, And then I'm also using Vanilla Normals Renewed or Remastered or something like that. And it's by Puting or something like that. Anyways, those two are old school like Seiyus style deals, and they work really good. They make it look like excellent. Anyways, so okay, I'm not going to use the nether portal. Let me show you first like the distance it takes to get from one place to the other. The distance. I'm going the distance. Okay, so here's the farm, right? I'm going to go back to my base. I made that little dirt marker to know so I can figure out where to go. We're going straight into the mouth. Oh, no, we're not. Come on. So there's the pink house. Not to be confused with Code Pink. No relation to Code Pink. All right. So pretty far away, right? Pretty far distance to get from one end to the other. But that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Oop. Okay. So were I to go the normal way, like were I to go like just go to like if I wanted to go to the raid farm like normal, I would enter in my raid, like pretend I don't have an elytra and pretend I don't have knowledge of where these things are. I have, man, these are dark. I'm gonna go grab ink sacs. I've got so many of them, I need to use them. Not just any ink sacs, but glowing ink sacs. Yes. Otherwise I can't read the signs. Blossom Base, End Portal, Pillager Outpost, Raid Farm, Nether Fortress, Woodland Mansion, Piglin Bastion, Mangrove Swamp Base. Nice. Alright, the Raid Farm. So first, before you go to the Raid Farm, right? Raid Farm by itself does nothing. You gotta go to the Pillager Outpost first, which is in another location. They're not next to each other. You have to go find one and then find the other and then like travel between the two. But they're far apart, so it makes it like not convenient to travel so far. So rather than subjecting myself to endless travel over the overland. Look at that's the Nether Fortress over there. The Nether Fortress. Instead of subjecting myself to like that. Oh, what am I doing out here? It almost ejected me out to nowhere. Oh, it's a good thing I had that spot there. Oh, it would have dumped me out into the lava. Holy shit, that would have been awful. That would have been awful. It almost dumped me out into like nothingness. Oh, that's scary. Anyways, okay. I'm here. I can't even read that. Pillager Outpost. So I go to the Pillager Outpost. I'm gonna find guys to kill. And hopefully one of these guys will be a leader dude who has a banner. Leader dudes with banners will give me the bad omen debuff. Which begins the raid farm. Alright, none of those guys had it. Had the bad omen. None of those guys were the real leaders. I'm looking for the real leaders. So this is their Pillager Outpost tower that they made, which I have conquered and already stolen all the things out of. I've already broken out the guys, golems who stayed around and fought and killed a lot of the bad guys until they died. Yep. But more bad guys keep coming. Like, they'll never stop coming. That's the nature of this pillager outpost, which is okay, right? Because I just need one particular kind of bad guy. That one he won't do. He won't do. It's got to be a guy with a banner. Missing him. This bow and arrow is not very accurate for over distance. All right. Well, I don't see any special dude with the required banner. That guy doesn't have a banner. No banner. So I can't show you how awesome this raid farm is. Because I can't get a guy with a banner to show up. So is it really that awesome? I don't know. Well, let's get out of here because it's getting dark. That's what I've noticed, is that it's getting a lot darker sooner. We're going to do a time change in USA. Oh, it's so annoying. It's so annoying when we do a time change. So let's pretend I have the debuff, right? Now that I have the debuff, I leave the pillager outpost, and then I need to make 2 more signs, so you know where each one of these goes. Oh yeah, I have them right there. That goes to the raid farm, and then that goes to the back to the nether hub station. So we're going to the raid farm. Look at this nice lighting. That lighting and this effect is from Rethinking Voxels beta 18b. He's still working on the alpha of the next version, and it's, you know, okay, not bad. But the performance isn't quite there yet, and the lighting isn't quite there yet. I love the colored lighting. For me, it's all about the colored lighting. Oh, it looks so nice. Anyways, so let's pretend I have the debuff. I'm getting out of here with the, you know, and I've got the debuff, and I want to go back to the raid farm. So I have this direct route that links the two. Can't see nothing, but uh-oh. Ow. That wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe I need to make like a what? Okay, there. So now I'm at the raid farm. These things are just hanging out over the lava. It's not like I built them into anything. They're literally just like arbitrary spots. Not arbitrary, but they're spots literally hanging out over a lava ocean. I had to make this, so it's not like. So if it's not perfect, forgive me. So yeah, this goes now to the raid farm. So even if you don't have your own special elytra, even if you don't have the ability to fly through the world like I do, you're still able to access the raid farm and obtain all the benefits therein. What are the benefits? Well, endless emeralds, number one, and for me, it's the totems. So I found out that I can avoid losing all my stuff by having a totem of undying. But the reason why I didn't use them is because you have to actually hold them in your offhand, and that takes up so much screen space. I don't like looking at a freaking totem all the time. So rather than doing that, I found an add-on that lets the totem be active, just having it in your inventory. You don't have to hold it. It just has to be in your inventory. And I'm like, great. That has saved me so many times. Because what do? I fly like in my free time. I enjoy flying around, just flying around because it looks really, really nice. I have pretty good hardware on my computer. So flying like this, like, just feels pretty good. Like, I have a big monitor. It has a high refresh rate, and I have high frame rates with AMD's new preview drivers. So the combining of all of high refresh rate, it just like feels great. It just feels great. Like and that's the thing, right? You at home watching like my video and me doing this will not get the same effect that I'm getting. Why? Because on my monitor, I'm getting like 150 frames per second. Whereas you at home, because of the nature of the video, can only get 60 frames per second. So you're getting like 1/3 of the frames that I'm getting. Well, not 1/3, but like at least half the frames that I'm getting. So the effect isn't, so it's not as smooth, as glassy, as realistic for you as it is for me. It feels like pretty good. I just don't know how to describe it. Anyways, yeah, I've been working on that for like a while. It took quite a while to obtain all the materials, to learn about the techniques, to fix the bugs, to overcome the difficulties. Yeah, it took a long time. So, but it's effective. It's effective because I've replenished my supply of totems, so I'm not at risk of dying. I mean, I'm at risk of dying still, but the risk is mitigated. Okay, what else I've done? I've also made this handy dandy like mine. 2 levels, right? That's level 8 if you want stone, and this is the deep stone. This is the deep slate. If you want to like go way down there. And so I dug like a 500 block tunnel that way and found a few diamonds, some stuff. So it was good. And then I dug that way sometime. It was all right. I dug that way sometime and it was all right. So I went in the cardinal direction and I just came from that direction. So the next step would just be to like go caving. I think that's the most profitable way of doing this is to go caving. Because strip mining, digging and strip mining isn't that great. Oh, I should put it so everyone can see this right here. From every one of them you can see it now. Well, not. I guess not. It's a green light every direction. All right, nice. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I want to get some ores, and this is like a new fresh mine. So I deleted the chunks and had Minecraft regenerate new chunks with the new rules, which double the number of, not double, but like increase the number of diamonds that you get. So it like, why dig in my old exhausted area? It's nice to go to a new area with new rules and new stuff. Okay, well here, let's see, where can I hang out? And need to put another flag up, a Palestinian flag. Oh, here I just stepped in it. I just talked about it. Yes, I did. I did talk about it. I did talk about it. I did start talking about it. I am talking about it. I'm going to talk about it. It's happening. So the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is pretty long and complicated. So I know that history is important and that you can't understand the moment unless you understand the history that brought us to this moment. But there are still things that remain true. Like that history, no history can change them because they remain true despite history. Like history can't change it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And one of those things that history cannot change is the idea of collective punishment. The idea that if some people do some bad stuff, then you are justified in harming all the people in order to punish the crime of a few people. That's wrong, dude. You can't do that. You can't do collective punishment. I mean, literally, that's the thing Hitler did. Literally. He blamed the Jewish people for anything and everything. It didn't have to be true. They don't ever deal with truth. It's not about truth, it's about power. They're fascist, right? It's fascist ideology. So yeah. So the idea of Hitler was to blame the Jewish people for anything and everything. So that's basically, I mean, and you're scapegoating, that's oppression. And the Americans did the same thing too, right? The USA people did the same thing too to black Americans. They enslaved black Americans. Why? Because power. There's no truth to it. Truth had no reason. It was no reason at all. It was pure power. So we know collective punishment is wrong. Just because an individual does something wrong doesn't mean you can punish the whole group for the crime of the individual. You can't do it. You can't do it. It's a war crime. That's literally what Hitler did. Tried to punish the group for the crime of like one or two people. So that is exactly what the Netanyahu government of Israel is doing right now to the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are just people. They're just people. They're people that lived in Palestine and still do, right? But they've undergone hardships, innumerable hardships. The vast majority of Palestinian people did not like attack their neighbors. The vast majority of Palestinian people do not support the murder of innocent people. The vast majority of Palestinian people like just want to live their lives. But the problem was that they live there. they live there. And the Netanyahu government doesn't like that. The Netanyahu government is an apartheid government. It's an apartheid fascist government. The Netanyahu government is an apartheid fascist government. That's not just me talking, right? That's not just, oh, look, that stupid American talking shit about Israel. No, it's not me just saying that. Their own people, Israelis themselves, were marching en masse against the dude because Netanyahu was trying to dismantle democracy in Israel. Why? Because fascism and democracy don't go together. They can't go together. Like if you try to, then you don't have real democracy. you have apartheid. You have apartheid. Like, sure, Russia had quote elections. Does that make them a democracy? No. Russia is still a terrorist state run by oligarchs, criminals. Despite the fact that they have elections, was the United States a perfect democracy just because it had elections? No, it had and still does disenfranchise giant parts of its people based on a history of racism and enslavement. So it's not a perfect democracy either. I mean, it's something we're working toward. We're still working toward it. And like, don't give up the dream here. We're still working toward it. So, but some things remain true regardless of history. And that thing is collective punishment is wrong and evil. And that's what the Netanyahu government is doing, which is an apartheid fascist government. It's doing this to the Palestinian people against the wishes of their own people. The Israelis themselves don't want this to happen. They're trying to indict the guy because he's a criminal. But Netanyahu is holding on to power. How can a fucking criminal like Netanyahu hold on to power despite his own people protesting against him? How can he do that? Well, because he gets outside support. He gets assistance. Where does he get assistance from? The United States. Remember how I said that presidents have a lot of leeway when it comes to foreign policy? This is all on Joe Biden. Joe Biden is basically enabling the Netanyahu government to engage in ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. Like, I thought it was pretty bad when Donald Trump betrayed our allies, the Kurds, to Turkey and let Turkey slaughter their bases without even giving them warning. In fact, they made them take down the defenses so that the Turks could come in and like slaughter their people. I thought that was terrible. I thought that was horrible. But what is Biden doing? Netanyahu only has cover to do this because the United States gives him cover. Did you see all those military assets the United States moved into position to give cover to the Israelis as they committed ethnic cleansing? To make sure that no other nation could stop them from committing ethnic cleansing? Imagine if Nazi Germany, we all knew that Nazi Germany had the concentration camps, and the Soviet Union came in and said, no, no one can interfere with Nazi Germany from doing what they're doing. That'd be crazy, right? That'd be crazy. Well, now it's us. We're the ones doing that. The Netanyahu government is engaging in collective punishment by invading Gaza and forcing and ethnically cleansing Gaza, just moving all those people out. What does it look like? What does it look like when you're moving people out? Let me see. Do I have that here? Yeah. So you're telling these little babies, hey little kids, guess what? We're gonna ethnically cleanse this place. We need you to go somewhere else. Do you mind just going somewhere else? Oh, you need like electricity and machines and a bunch of other stuff to keep you alive. Tough luck. Time to go. What the fuck is that? You can't do that. You can't do that to people. If you do that, you're the bad guy. That's what Russia did to the Ukrainians. That's the same thing Russia did to the Ukrainians. It's like, if you don't leave, we'll fucking kill you. That's what the Ukrainian. That's what Russia did to the Ukrainians. The Israelis are doing to the Palestinian people. Look at these kids. Look at these kids on dialysis. Right, those machines, that electricity, those beds, those facilities. You think you can just up and move those things to the south, and like just on a whim, just like, oh, okay, time to go. There's no place for them to go, man. That place is super, super, super dense. There's a shit ton of people already living there, and you've destroyed half the buildings. Where are they gonna go? And look at these kids. Look at these women on dialysis, dude. They're on dialysis, and you want them just to go stand in a field for like a month? No, that's wrong. And the only reason why the Netanyahu government can force that to happen is because the United States is giving them cover. What's the solution, Pogo Kiddo? You talk a bunch of shit. What's the solution? The solution's the UN. The solution's the UN. That's the whole point we have it. United Nations, when the whole world gets together and figures out what to do in order to solve a problem. And this has been a problem for a long time. Israelis have had to deal with terrorism for a long time. The Palestinian people have been oppressed and occupied without a country for a real long time. Not even having a country, living in fucking concentration camps. Why haven't we come together to fix this problem? Oh, that's right, because the United States vetoes it every time. Like, the solution is to get the so the problem, the Israelis have a problem with Gaza because Hamas uses Gaza to fire missiles and kill its citizens. Okay. And then Israel says, well, shit, we can't physically go in there. You won't let us go in there. And everyone gets mad at us if we try bombing them out like that. What do you want us to do? That's what the Israelis say, right? They're frustrated. Okay. So we don't want the Israelis to go in there. But the West won't. But the West blocks everything. Well, what if the United States magically did not veto any resolution about Israel and Palestine? What if the United States just abstained and didn't say anything? What would happen then? Well, we could set up an international peacekeeping force. An international peacekeeping force headed by the UN, paid for by the UN, so they don't have to tax the Palestinian people. Paid for by the UN to go in there and act as a police force to stop Hamas from firing missiles. That way, you have someone to hold accountable when a missile gets fired off. You can say, hey, motherfuckers, those guys just shot a missile at us. Go stop them. Go get them. So they don't shoot missiles at us anymore. You won't let the Israelis go do it, so someone's got to go do it. That someone's got to be the UN. An international force. And the only reason why that can't be done is because the United States vetoes it. Why? Why would you veto it? Why would you? This problem, like this makes the United States look real bad. Because look at your own history, United States. The United States is literally a settler nation. It's a settler nation. It's a nation of settlers. It's the only nation standing with, what is Israel? Another settler nation. So you got two settler nations hanging out together, defending one another from the native people that live there in the land that they settled. That's terrible. That tells me that the settler nations haven't learned anything. That they still engage in hubris. that for all the talk of freedom, justice, and liberty, when it comes down to it, it's just talk. You don't actually mean it. Adults and children reportedly killed each day in Gaza. Summary of deaths reported by the Gazan Health Ministry. The Gazan Health Ministry is essentially like run by Hamas. So take these numbers with a grain of salt. But this comes from the New York Times. And so we're seeing, like, even if you cut these numbers in half, like, or not even in half, like by 1/10, do 1/10 the numbers. Instead of like 800 killed, think 80 killed. I don't know, maybe. That's still a lot of fucking people. 80 people killed. Who are not at all related to Hamas. 80 kids dead. And you haven't even talked about the suffering. I mean, they turned off the water, guys, for like, I don't know how many days. And then, like, is food even getting in? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to even talk about this when it seems the obvious solution is being blocked by countries with an interest in ethnic cleansing. Two countries who are historically engaged in ethnic cleansing are stopping any solution to stop another ethnic cleansing. All right. Israel, I don't know where I got this. Israel correctly understands that once they finish exterminating the indigenous population and completely resettled the land, the world would treat it as an unfortunate thing that happened in the past. This is called, remember how I told you that the thing that I was going to use a phrase that bit me in the ass? Well, now it's biting me in the ass. That phrase is called facts on the ground. Facts on the ground. You can talk whatever you want and say whatever you want. What matters are facts on the ground. So, while people are engaged in dialogue and diplomacy, the Netanyahu government uses power to create facts on the ground so that when everyone is done talking and looks at the actual thing, it's already been done. The facts, it's already laid out. It's already done. Those are the facts on the ground. For all your talk, what matters are facts on the ground. What's actually materially there. So, so So it will be completely unreasonable to hold the regime responsible for the past because things are different now and we have to move forward. They know this because it's exactly what happened when the US, Canada, and Australia removed their own indigenous populations to resettle the land with whites. Yup. That's what's going on. What's going on? Ooh. Okay, so everyone talks about one state, like solutions. The one state solution, the two state solution. All right, so hey, little kid, see, he replaced the monk. Actually, not even the monk. I think the monk came from another village down there. So I don't know where that guy came from. But all right. So democracy and all of ancient Israeli land. What does that look like? That is the one state solution. This is the one state solution. This is one state. You can have all of ancient Israeli land. However, it's going to be unified under one government. And in that government, the Jewish people are going to be a minority. Why? Because all of the Palestinians return to their land. They get to come back and they get to hang out, right? And and so yeah, sure, the whole Israel, all of ancient Israel is together, but it's not going to be a Jewish majority. It's going to be a democracy in which Jewish people, have representation. And I would hope that in such an arrangement, the rights of minorities would be greatly guarded, greatly protected. Right? I mean, that's the whole thing. You want because the Jewish people want protection from the state or from anyone doing harm to them. So you would want to build in protections for minorities into the government. But yeah, that's like the one state solution, right? Then you have democracy and Jewish majority. So let me cover that up. Then you have democracy and Jewish majority. Okay, what does that look like? Well, that means that's the two-state solution. That's the two-state solution. So what you do there is you like draw the borders in such a way that the Jewish people have a majority inside the borders that they have, but those borders are not going to contain all of ancient Israeli land. Like in your book, it's not going to have all the land in the book. so but you'll have democracy and you'll have a Jewish majority, and Palestine hopefully gets a country that's viable. The way that it's drawn now, the way the borders are drawn now, it's not a viable country. You can't have a country split in two like that. You got to do something to make Palestine whole. And that's what you can do if you're trying to set up a two-state solution. You can do that. It's possible. Absolutely possible, right? So the one-state solution is one state with real strong protections for minorities, right? That and everyone lives together, right? That's what the one state solution. The two state solution is you make Israel and Palestine, but Israel has to give up like it's a bunch of the land in the book, and it probably has to give up more land in order to like make a viable nation for Palestine, because right now it's not viable. It's not viable the way it's set up. You got to make it viable. But there's the bad way, the bad way, which is settler colonialism, fascism. What is that? That's all of ancient Israeli land and Jewish majority. Well, wait a minute. How can you do that? How can you do that? If you have all of ancient Israeli land, that includes a shit ton of Palestinian people, a lot of Palestinian people who outnumber Jewish people by a lot. How can it be a Jewish majority if they're outnumbered by Palestinian people? Well, the way you do it is you get rid of democracy. You just get rid of democracy. You say Palestinian people are second-class citizens. They don't have the same amount of political power as Jewish people in this state. This is a fascist state. This is apartheid. This is the state that Netanyahu government is championing and making with facts on the ground by ethnically cleansing Gaza. They're forcibly removing people from the land that they want with force, with like tanks and shit and airstrikes and soldiers on the ground. Like, it's ethnic cleansing, dude. Like, I don't know. Is like my closest thing I could correlate it with would be Mosul in Iraq. In Iraq, I don't think the American people wanted to ethnically cleanse the city, but functionally that's what happened because it gets turned into a war zone. Like, and no one can live there. No one can live in a war zone. So this can only happen if they get outside support, which is support from which right now is support from the United States. So I mean, do you understand what's going on? Like, this is the two-state solution. This is the one-state solution that that's like the conversation that a lot of people have, but this is the apartheid solution that Netanyahu is making right now with facts on the ground, and he can only do that because the United States is giving him cover. And why does the United States give him cover? Because the United States is guilty of the same sin. All right. So remember how I guess I said a little while ago that like the Netanyahu government is independent, that Israel is a sovereign state and they can do what they want because the United States has no bases in it. Well, even if the United States has a base in you, they're still a sovereign nation and can make decisions that are contrary to U.S. interests. But nonetheless, I was wrong. U.S. quietly expands secret military base in Israel. Government document. This is from Ken Klipperstein and Daniel Boguslaw. Government documents pointing to construction at classified U.S. base offer rare hints about a little-noted U.S. military presence near Gaza. 2 months before Hamas attacked Israel, the Pentagon awarded a multi-million-dollar contract to build U.S. troop facilities for a secret base it maintains deep within Israel's Negev desert, just 20 miles from Gaza. Codenamed Site 512, 512, the long-standing U.S. base is a radar, blah, 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 blah. So basically, now we have a U.S. base inside of Israel. So, like, I would think that if Japan wanted to like go to war with Indonesia, the USA might have something to say about that. Why isn't the United States saying something about Israel going to war against Gaza? Like, in other words, stop, cease fire, stop your shit, stop, cease fire, cease fire, stop firing your fucking, stop doing your shit, cease fire. That's what you got to do, right? Just tell them to stop. So it's interesting because you think about how this relates to the United States. In the United States, in Georgia, the cops are building a replica city, not to like house people, the homeless or anything, but to practice urban warfare like they're doing in Gaza. So the police can do urban warfare against American citizens here in the United States. They're related. It's related. Settler nations are like white supremacist nations. And they can only hold control through violence. That's why they're building Cop City, just like over the objection of all the citizens. Like, we want to defund the police. We don't want to reward them. They murdered Tortuga. They murdered an activist in who was squatting the forest, so they couldn't bulldoze it. They murdered him. They ran in with guns. They murdered him. They shot him through his hands as his hands were raised up. Afterwards, they tried to blame it on him. They tried to say that he shot at them first. They shot through his hands, guys. They shot through his open hands. And the police lied about it. Why? So they could build a replica city so they can kill more people in urban environments. It's all connected. And what are they doing? What are they doing in Gaza? They're killing people in urban environments. I mean, the solution is to let the UN do it and create a coalition to go in there who don't have any interest in this situation. Israel, the Netanyahu government, has a vested interest in getting rid of people, of the Palestinian people. It has said as much. It has said as much that it wants to get rid of, to ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people and to take control of all the ancient Israeli land. They said as much. So that means you can't trust them to go in there. You can't trust them. Already you cannot hold them accountable. Remember when they murdered that reporter? What's her name? I'm going to go back and find or grab it real quick. Those reporter in the West Bank, clearly labeled, clearly marked as a reporter, and Israeli Defense Force murdered her. They shot her. They killed her, and they wouldn't let people go in to get her to get help or anything. There it is. Shireen Abu Akleh. Shireen Abu Akleh. Shireen Abu Akleh, assassinated by IDF. Clearly wearing a press uniform. Clearly, look at her, the co-worker. They just murdered her. Then, at her funeral, they had a funeral for her, right? Because they fucking murdered her. They had a funeral, and the police are beating the people carrying her coffin. They're just carrying the coffin, and the police are beating them. Don't touch the ground. He saves it. That guy saves it. Look at him. He's getting beat, and he got beat up by the police, and that guy saves it. Yeah. So you can see how the Netanyahu government, on purpose antagonizes the Palestinian people in order to provoke a response from Hamas. Then that response from Hamas gives the Netanyahu government justification for doing ethnic cleansing on the Palestinian people. It's a fucking vicious cycle. They're evil, dudes. You cannot help, you cannot ally yourself with the Netanyahu government. You can't do it. They're literally, it's a plan to literally ethnically cleanse the Palestinian people using the help of Hamas. Hamas and Netanyahu. See, okay, I want to get back to the idea of duality being an illusion. People get caught up on this idea of duality, and they reify it. They look at Hamas, and they look at the Netanyahu. They look at Hamas, and they look at the Israeli government, the Netanyahu government, and they say, "Oh, those two are opposite. They must be opposite, right? Because nominally, apparently, they're on opposite ends of the conflict, right? That's so people get tricked into duality by believing these two are separate. These two entities are separate. They're separate parts of and they're not related to each other. But that is absolutely incorrect. These two entities, Hamas and Netanyahu, are on the same side. Oh, they're on the same side. Both of them are on the side of extremism. Understand they're on the same team, and that team is extremism. Both sides want extremism of their own kind. Neither form of extremism benefits the Palestinian people, or the Jewish people, or the Israeli citizen. It doesn't benefit any of them, but it benefits Hamas, and it benefits the Netanyahu government. So those two entities work together against their common enemy, which are the people, the Palestinian people, the Jewish people, the Israeli citizens, and indirectly the American citizen. Where am I going? Oh yeah, here. Let me show you. So it looks like this is the apparent. So it looks like you have the Bibi Netanyahu. Let's see. Okay, so you have the two guys, and it looks like apparently, oh wow, they're on opposite sides, right? Because Hamas apparently is for the Palestinian. Because apparently the narrative is that the Hamas narrative is that they're fighting for the Palestinian people. And then when really they're terrorists. And then the Bibi Netanyahu says, who wants apartheid, says, oh yeah, I'm really fighting for Israelis, and then he conflates it on purpose, right? On purpose. He conflates it with the Jew on purpose. Boom. Okay, so this is the narrative that they sell you. That's apparently the way it goes. Apparently, right? The appearance nominally, Bibi Netanyahu and with his apartheid government nominally is supposed to be supporting Israelis and the Jewish people, and he adds in there the Jewish people. But he's not actually concerned with the Jewish people at all. Okay. Hamas nominally says they're supporting the Palestinian people, but actually they're fucking terrorists. They're terrorists. They're fucking terrorists. You can't get around it. They're terrorists. That's what they do. And so it looks like, oh wow, these guys are opposite of each other. They have nothing to do with each other. But that's an incorrect way of looking at it. That's an incorrect way of looking at it. The way you got to look at it is it's more like this. In fact, here, let me move this out of the way. If I might spell it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm just going quick. I don't like. Do you think I planned this? Okay. Apparently, this is what it looks like. Apparently, right? And then in the middle, you have the, they say they support Palestinian people. These guys say they support the Israelis and the Jewish people. And in the middle are the Palestinian people, the Jewish people, and the Israeli citizens. So the idea that gets sold to you is that these two things are on opposite sides. But the actual truth of it is this. The order doesn't matter. I'm just putting it in. I don't. This is the truth of it. This is the truth of it. This is the truth of it. What actually what is sold to you is that these two people are on opposite sides, and that these, try and then they claim that they're serving different factions, right? But the actual truth is this. These two guys are on the same team. They're on the same side. You see, look at the lines this way, guys. They're on the same side. They both use violence and terror to advance their policy goals. The Netanyahu government on purpose antagonizes the Palestinian people. That antagonization gives cover to Hamas to engage in terrorist activities. The terrorist activities give the Bibi government, the Netanyahu government, cover to engage in ethnic cleansing. The ethnic cleansing creates massive amounts of trauma and suffering for the Palestinian people, from which Hamas draws their members. So, the more Netanyahu government harms the Palestinian people, the more members Hamas gets to fight the Israeli government. Not even the Israeli government, but to enrich the Hamas. Right? They're not actually interested in the Palestinian people. They only draw from them for their power, but they're not there to protect them. In fact, if Hamas were to actually protect the people, they would not have any members. No one would join them anymore. They would have to become a legitimate government, which they failed to do. They did not do. They had a chance, and they didn't do it. And the Netanyahu government is like inherently illegitimate because it's headed by a fascist who's into apartheid. He said so himself. That's what he's about. So it's not that these two are on opposite sides. They're on the same side. Who are they against? The people. Because these guys take their power from these people. These guys take their power from the Israeli citizens. And then he's not even really interested in the Jewish people, but he'll use the name of Jewish people in order to give himself cover so that you can't criticize him. He'll say, if you criticize me, that's anti-Semitism. Man, no, it's not. Israel and the Jewish people are not the same thing, even though you try to conflate the two. So that's the thing. You got to untwist it. They have it twisted. They have it presented this way. They're presenting it to you this way. But this is not the real way. The real way is over here. Because then you can see that then you can say, well, where's the power lie? Who has when you look at it this way, it looks like a power struggle between Hamas and the Netanyahu government. It looks like that, right? It looks like it's a power struggle between these two people, and these people are stuck in the middle. But the actual truth, when you look at the situation, when you realize that Hamas and the Netanyahu government are on the same team, then you look at where the power lies. Does the power lie with the Palestinian people? No. They're the ones who suffer all of the effects from the Netanyahu government. But they don't have any power themselves. Do the Jewish people have anything to do with the Netanyahu government? No. Jewish people are all over the world. They have nothing to do with Israel. They're not at all connected. There's no connection whatsoever. The Netanyahu government may claim that there's a connection, and it may make policies that are a certain way, that are beneficial for Jewish people, but that's not because the Jewish people want it. That's what the apartheid people want. They want privileges. So, and is it the Israeli citizens? No, they just want to live in a democracy, and their democracy is being taken away from them by the Netanyahu government. So I mean, in fact, they're trying, right? They had massive demonstrations in order to kick this guy out, Netanyahu. Why? Because the Netanyahu government literally tried to get rid of judicial review of laws that its party passed. It said, our government is going to pass laws and no judge can judge it. It's just going to go. So yeah, the people, the Israeli citizens, rightfully like fought back against this. That was like a few weeks ago. Like, it's hard to keep track of stuff because so much stuff is going on right now. So much stuff is going on. Like oh my god. Like yeah, the coup in Niger, or was it Chad? I don't remember. Like, see, that's the thing. I'm not even an expert in Africa, so I don't even talk about Africa. I don't even know what's going on there. I'm not an expert in the Middle East either, right? But my government's about to get really, really involved and is on the wrong side of things. So, yeah. What else do we got here? Yeah, the Netanyahu government is not blameless in this at all. And it's about to engage in ethnic cleansing, and it's doing so because it has help from the United States, which is why I'm talking about it. So remember this, the same thing. That remember how the Netanyahu government tries to conflate Israel with the Jewish people? The same way he does that is also another trick they do. Conflating Palestinians with Hamas is how Zionists justify their genocide. According to Gritty is the way. Yes, right? You cannot conflate the two. The Palestinian people and Hamas are not the same thing. The only reason why you would want to conflate Hamas with the Palestinian people is if you want to give cover to the Netanyahu government to engage in collective punishment against the Palestinian people. Because then you can say, oh, if Hamas and the Palestinian people are the same thing, it's okay to hurt the Palestinian people because then you're hurting Hamas. No, that's not true. That's not true. Hamas and the Palestinian people are separate entities. They're not the same thing. You cannot make the Palestinian people suffer. Like turning off their fucking water for the whole city? Man, that's crazy. Look at those little kids getting dialysis. Now you're turning off their water? Turning off their power? The other day, Israel like knocked off all of their communications to the outside world for like 24 hours. Not only to the outside world, but to each other. They couldn't even talk to each other anymore. So like if like somebody got hit by a bomb like that Israel dropped and you wanted to get them help, you couldn't just call the ambulance because nothing worked. They didn't know where to go. Like that's the thing. War is suffering. War is a racket. It's a racket. Someone's making money off this war, and it's not the Israeli citizens, it's not the Palestinian people, it's not the Jewish people, it's not the Arabs, it's the Netanyahu government, and it's Hamas. They're the ones making money off of it. They're on the same team, you see. They're on the same team. All you got to do is untwist it like this. Oh, there. Now you get it. Don't be tricked by dualities. Understand the underlying nature. They want you to say make it look like this, but when you understand where the power lies, and then you can see it's like this. And that trick, what I just showed you, works here in the United States too. You can figure out things like that. Like, je ne sais pas. I love these shaders, man. These shaders are amazing. The shadows are so nice. It gives such a good spooky atmosphere. Ooh, spooky. All right, what else do I got going on here? Oh boy. So two things happened that seem disconnected, but are actually the same thing. Again. A guy named Robert Card, who was trained in the military, up and like murdered a shit ton of people. Murdered like 22 people in Maine with an assault rifle. Yeah. So that happened. And then, well, of course, we want to find out, well, what's this guy's thinking? What's this guy's frame of mind that he would want to go out and just commit mass murder with an assault rifle? What would cause him to go kill innocent people? What would cause him to go and do that? And so you find out, hey, dude's got a Twitter account. He has a Twitter account. Uh-oh. Damn, we could probably find out a lot about, you know what they say about social media. Those companies know more about you than you know about you. So if we take a look at this dead guy's Twitter account, we can figure out his frame of mind and figure out what's going on. So that's what they did, right? That's what they did. Heavy.com recorded the likes of this guy. So on Twitter, when you see a post, you can either ignore it, you can respond to it by writing, you can retweet it, and which basically copies the post again on your own thing, or you can like it, which just gives it a little heart and just denotes that you like this post, and it gives the post a boost in the algorithm. So Heavy.com looked at the likes that Robert Card gave before he went on this rampage. Let me go. Where is this at? Heavy.com. Whoa, slow down there, buddy. Slow down. You're going way too fast. So is it up there? I don't even see it. I don't even see it. Oh, it's because I have to not use this anymore. You're done. You're done, sir. You're done. I'm picking I have a new girlfriend now. Not girlfriend. A new deal. I got a new deal now. You're over. Okay. Whoa, slow down, partner. Slow down. Slow down. Stop. Da-da-da. I'm gonna adjust this so everyone can see as clearly as me. Okay, Robert Card. This is his Twitter account. So this is his likes, the things he liked. So this is Carter Braxton Worth, the so-called bullish 2023 market. So I can't see it. It looks like he's doubting the the good economic news. This is April 26th. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. All right. This is from Kevin McCarthy in March 28. President Biden has already caused record inflation. Rah, rah, rah. He retweeted, he liked Tucker Carlson talking shit about trans people. He liked Donald Trump Jr. Talking shit about trans people. He liked Dinesh D'Souza, who's a right-winger dude, crazy dude, who says he's opposed to gun control. He liked a post that shows the French rioting or the French protesting against the raising the retirement age, which bonus, right? That's why the French have a lower retirement age than Americans. Then he liked a post by the Babylon Bee, which is a right-wing organization, and it said college freshmen explain socialism. It just promotes some stupid meme that doesn't make sense. Har har har. See remember, right wingers always use insinuation. It's all about insinuation. Wait, where'd it go, dude? It skipped. All right, Jim Cramer. Oh, who's Jim Cramer? Isn't he like a economist? How many of the 150 million users of TikTok vote? It doesn't matter if they are deprived. They will just go to an improved Reels. What? I don't know. Oh, he's shilling for Jim Cramer is shilling for Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, whatever. Okay. What's this? It's just some haha funny video. Oh, he he liked a post by Elon Musk. Elon Musk criticizing President Biden, saying, "Oh, the banks are melting." Ha 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 ha. We're in October, November. We just got the report of what 4.9% like growth, like huge growth, despite the fact that we have 7% uh interest rates. That's crazy. Like I can't buy a house, but there's no way. Interest rates have not lowered the housing prices. So you need to find another way to lower housing prices if you want to get if you want to get like people in houses. Okay. What else? What else is? No, he liked a post by Jim Jordan, and Jim Jordan is insinuating because that's all he can do because he's like a dirty insinuator. Insinuator. This is a post by Fox News. Who cares? Another post by Elon Musk. I don't know. Some things are priceless. What are you talking about? I don't know. Okay. Then a post by Zuby. Who's Zuby? Says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but, quote, black people are not a global monolith who share the same belief, culture, nationality, nor even language. We are certainly not each responsible for the actions of random individuals of similar color. Well, so isn't this an argument against collective punishment, the thing that's being done to the Palestinian people right now? Okay. No, but see, no one's doing it against white people. No one's saying like white people is like a kind of a chosen thing, right? Are you white or are you like Irish American or like German American or Mutt American, Anglo like English or like Euro Mutt American or whatever, like Dash American. Like this whole white thing is as a construct. It's lazy. That way you can't like black people can say they're black because like literally that they literally created themselves. Black people can say they're black because they literally created themselves. Like out of whole cloth. I mean, do I have to explain it again? Like African people, a lot of African people were stolen and enslaved for hundreds and hundreds of years until they lost all recollection of where they came from and like what their culture was. Right? It was taken from them completely. They were totally erased. Like I don't know, man. Think of it like a yeah. They have, and so they had to like basically make a new identity. Once as they fight for their freedom, they have to make their own identity, a new identity, and that's what they're doing. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see, right? We're watching it. It's amazing. Everyone's watching it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So yeah, black Americans can say they're black because that's a thing they made. But white Americans, what is white? Where does white come from? What nation's white? There's no white. White is privilege. Anyways, how did I get lost on this? So it's a quote from CNBC. He likes that Biden's approval slips. He likes Jim Cramer. He likes David Sachs. He likes Muhammad al-Iran. He likes a post saying that Russian strikes overnight kill civilians. Estonia calls China peace plan extremely unfair. Okay. He likes the Fed put I don't know what that's about. He's a economist guy, dude. Not possible. This woman, oh, he liked the post by End Wokeness. So, like, yeah, that's a big sign. That's a big red flag. Oh, he liked the something by Cat Turd. Big red flag. He's a right winger. He's a right winger. He's a right winger. Yeah, dude, all of his posts, right? So the more you look at his stuff, the more you realize he's a right winger. He's a Nazi. He's a white supremacist. Robert Card is a white supremacist. Look at this guy. Like, that's the leader of the white supremacist party, Kevin McCarthy, or he was the leader. And Elon Musk is a guy who from an apartheid nation who wants to make apartheid here in the United States. And look what he's saying. He's trying to pimp his own like failing website. I don't know what's going on here. And he liked another fucking Cat Turd post. Who cares? He liked another post by Jim Jordan. So this guy, like all over, right? All over this guy's shit. He's a right winger. He's a right winger, man. That's what he's a right winger. He's a Nazi. So is it any like wonder? I can't say any wonder, but yeah. Right wing. The same people who are against gun control are the ones going off with guns. So, like, I would say, hey guys, go look for yourself. Go find out for yourself what's going on if you don't believe this video from heavy.com. I would say go ahead and go do that. But Twitter, Elon Musk scrubbed it. They deleted his account and got rid of it before anyone else could see what was going on. So what are these lists of accounts that he visited? Zuby, Elon Musk, Jim Cramer, David Sachs, Elon Musk, BBC World, Elon Musk, Truth, something, Speaker McCarthy, M. Cuban, something, McCarthy, Wall Street, something, Silver, Jim Jordan, Elon Musk, Jim Cramer, Elon Musk, Kanekoa the Great, what? Jose Squawk, Zuby Music, Elon Musk, Eli David, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, smack. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Smack. Okay. So this guy is a bad guy, right? He's a bad guy. He was a right winger. And the gunmen from the Texas and Maine shootings this year were millennial men, self-described far-right warriors, no criminal history prior to murders, extensive social media histories of threats, previously in the Army, worked in law enforcement adjacent fields at the time of shooting. So, when people say defund the police, what they're really saying is defund white supremacy. Because the police are the enforcers of white supremacy. You can link what's going on in Gaza to what's going on in Georgia with Cop City. It's white supremacy. It's all manifestations of white supremacy. Like, I don't know myself, so I'm a little hesitant to say this. But I hear, okay, so supposedly the state of Israel allows for all people of Jewish ancestry to come back to Israel. However, I've heard that there's some discrimination in that policy. And given that it's the Netanyahu government that's engaging in ethnic cleansing, and the Netanyahu government who said who hinted that he wasn't really interested in well, I don't have that clip, so I can't say that. So never mind. He's not interested in the Jewish people, in protecting the Jewish people. He's interested in himself. All right, what else we got here? Anyways, judges have now found that Republicans in Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida all used their redistricting power to discriminate against black voters after the 2020 census. This is from Sam Levine. Okay. So this, I don't know. Right, I'm looking at the global thing, right? And this is threatening to go to like explode a giant powder keg that we cannot afford to do. We can't afford it. We can't afford it because we have climate change to deal with. What are we gonna do? Like, give ourselves a forced nuclear winter? That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. That will like kill ridiculous amounts of people, millions and millions and millions of people, billions. I would say billions of people. If there's a nuclear winter, if there's a nuclear exchange and we have a nuclear war, even if it's just limited, even a limited nuclear exchange, it will fuck shit up. We can't do it, man. We can't even do that. So there's a faction inside the United States that has this crazy idea. They're a doomsday. Remember how I told you they follow the white idol. Yeah, dude, I told you this. There's a faction in the United States that follows the white idol. There's an entity called the white idol. They don't call it that. They conflate it on purpose. They conflate it with Christianity. They wear the cloak of Christianity. But they worship, the thing they worship is the white idol. They don't really actually care what Jesus says. So they have this fantasy, this doomsday prophecy, that brings about the end of the world. They want the end of the world. They want, so you ever see this, you ever hear about this Japanese animation called Neon Genesis Evangelion? I mean, like, they must know about this way better than I do. They must have seen it way, like, the Japanese must have seen this like long time before like I even noticed. But because they made a whole like series out of it for years and years. So anyways, in this series, there's a secret group that wants to bring about the end of the world and literally kill everybody. Well, not really, yeah, kill everybody. They want to kill everybody, the whole world, like all life on Earth. They want to kill all life on Earth and have it resort back to primordial ooze so that a new god can arise from it. They're fucking crazy, right? They're absolutely crazy. So they're trying to bring about the end of the world. Um, oh shit. On purpose, right? Because they think if they bring about the end of the world on purpose, that they'll be part of this new god and like it'll be great for them. Like fuck everyone else. It's about them. The elites. The elites want it. Okay. So so in the United States, there's this cult that worships the white idol. It clads itself in the guise of Christianity, but it's actually following the white idol. And this white idol wants to do something similar. It wants to bring about the end of the world, to resort everyone back to primordial ooze, so that Jesus can come. Quote, quote. They literally want to bring about the end of the world. They want the same thing. In how how in the elites in Neon Genesis Evangelion, Cele, they want to bring about the third impact. They want to like destroy all life on Earth and revert everyone back to primordial ooze, so that so that they themselves can be free. They don't actually care about what's going on. They just want to be free themselves because they themselves are all fucked up. The only way they can live and sustain their own life is through technology, but it's like not ideal, right? So since their own existences are so miserable, they want to end they want to like transform their existence, but in order to do so they have to bring about the end of everyone else's existence at the same time, and they're like, fuck everyone else. I'm doing it for me. So it's not cool, man. It's not cool at all. But that's what the secret organization is trying to do. Same thing in the United States. the conservative evangelicals have the same idea. They want us, and they have this crazy idea that if they can get all the Jewish people into the state of Israel and then destroy them, it will bring about the rapture. What is the rapture? That's when everyone goes to heaven. What does that mean? Everyone dies! Oh my gosh! So it's in their interests to cause a world war. There's no talking to them, dude. Right? There's no talking. It's not like they used reason to get to where they're thinking. You're not talking them out of it. You're not gonna go, hey, dudes, here's some proof. No, nothing. I don't care if aliens come down. It's not gonna do it. Nothing will. Nothing. So anyways, how about, I forgot to record it, but again and again using words. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here in the United States, right? This cult is like evil, man. It's evil. It's the cult of the white idol. When we talk about white supremacy, what do you think is the? Yeah, that's the thing they worship. White supremacy, white idol. And I say idle on purpose because there's there's a commandment against the thing that they're doing. Oh, in a certain religious faith tradition, there's a command, there's an instruction, an explicit instruction against doing the thing that they're doing. Yeah. This is such a long ass problem. I've been streaming for days, but it's okay. It's okay. Let the UN in. Let the UN handle it, guys. Why are you like this? The only reason why you would not let the UN handle it is because why? Let the UN handle it. So coming back to this, the United States doesn't have ancient Israeli land. We're doing something else. We're supposed to, ideally, right? Ideally. Only have two signs, but that's okay. I have a right there. We have let's see. Democracy. I don't know. I don't know. How would this work? Because ethno-state and democracy aren't compatible. I mean, no, they could be. They could be. An ethno-state and democracy could be compatible, I guess. But then your borders would be so small as to be like non-existent. You couldn't expand it anywhere. Like no one would even want to go in you because they lose all their rights. Right? So like even if you had democracy in an ethno state, for how long? Like it's not going to work because then the people who lose in the democracy eventually are going to, I don't know, become a minority and then lose all their rights. You can't. They can't. It doesn't work. You can't do it. So I don't know. I don't know how you can have Jewish majority in democracy. How do you do that? I mean, like I guess if I mean like you can make an ethno state, but then yeah, like I heard that African Jews were discriminated against in Israel. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. And so I'm insinuating. Not good, right? Sorry, man. That's what I heard, and I heard it from a good source. That's all I can say. And like, if you come up with better information, I will back down. Like, but how do you, like, there's no like in between. The thing is that we're already here. Like, so this is the question. Like, how much land does Israel get to keep or get to have? Like, does it get to have all of it? If it gets all of it, is it like, or does it get just part of it? Or does it get none of it? Because that's another question. We can say like it gets nothing, and the thing we make is not Israel; it's something else. If we include all the land, both Israel, well, here that's the thing. That's like, why don't you make it like the United States? You have the state of Israel, and then you have the state of Palestine, and you have the state of Gaza. Like, all three have their own deals, right? And then there's a federal government. They have federal representation. See, you think that could work if you federalize the state? Micro federalizations, but federalizations nonetheless. Doesn't the UAE do something similar? They have like a sultan, or what? Not sultan. I don't know what they call the guy. Like the head dude. Well, no, they're just all like, no. Each region has their own little prince guy, or their own ruler dude, and all the rulers get together. But some kingdoms are bigger than others, so they can do more stuff. But yeah, they all like, all the rulers consult. So I don't know. Could you work something out like? Well, you don't have rulers. You have people. You have representatives. They don't really vote in the UAE. Yeah, but you would have, if you want democracy, then you would vote for your representatives. Yeah. What is this? What? So they still have a question. They're still working this out. But we're different, right? This is a done deal. Remember facts on the ground? Facts on the ground are a done. It's like the United States has already like taken over everything, and like pushed people back to like tiny little spots. Like, how would you would have to reverse it? Like, I know that the native population is tiny in comparison to the rest of the United States. Like, why isn't there a program to increase those numbers? We can do it. Like, that's taking control of the state. And that's because I see the state as an Eva. Again, I'm taking concepts from the Japanese anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. And if you look at government as a supra entity, not a super entity, but a supra. I don't know. I mean, like, it's the same thing. A super entity. Fine. A super entity. Because that's what a government is. It's a super entity. It's an entity made up of all of our ideas put together. Well, I mean, and power. Because it's based out of history. But still, ideally, democracy and society and these institutions are made out of people doing activities. Look at that guy. That guy's gonna. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Don't go there. No. Good job. Get out of there. Yeah, it's not. That's. Not, I need to lock it, man. I need a better way of locking it. No. Oh no. There you go. I'm gonna put a button here. Button. I'm gonna put a couple buttons there just in case. Ta-da! There, easy peasy. It just doesn't open now. All you gotta do is press the button, man. If you really want to go, just press the button. Hey, what's up, buddy? Hi, how you doing? Hi. Hey. Yeah, I like you too, man. You're pretty cool. I just want to keep you safe. That's all. All I want to do is keep you safe. Oh, look. There's a slab there, so you can't get in. Oh, all you got to do is, crouch down. Can you crouch down for me? Do a little crouch. Work your knees a bit. Come on. Just, like this. Oh, like that. See? It works fantastic, dude. If you want in, it's easy. I guess not. Yeah, I already took that one guy and brought him home. Brought him to the temple. Brought him to the temple. Where he lay in thought. Brought him to the temple. Expected he was not. Oh! What? Is my dude still here? Yes. Yes, he is. What's up, man? This light doesn't work on you too good. It's like, no, it's just the way it is here. Okay. Now there's a lot of light. I think that's what it is that there's too many lanterns with the shader. Need fewer lanterns. Or just lanterns in better positions. It's just that spot right there. There we go. There we go. Should put things in the window. Put things in the window so he doesn't do that. It makes me nervous. Ta-da. There. No problemo, dude. You can still hang out. Your name. Étranger. Monsieur Étranger. Bonsoir. Comment allez-vous? Okay, what's going on? Oh, hey, get this one out. No. There was another monk that lived here, and one day he disappeared. Oh shit, maybe that's why, because this got stuck open and he fell down to the depths and then I don't know what happened. Then who knows what happened. I need probably a better way of doing this then. Why would it get stuck? Did I fall out of the I don't know. Look at him, he's transparent, dude. That's kind of trippy. Spooky. It's spooky. He's a spooky monk. Is he here? Is he? The light just falls on him very strangely. It's like he's here but phased. I don't know. Displacer beast. I'm wearing a cloak, man. Crouch, hide in shadows. Okay. Let's see, what else do I got going on? Shh. Quiet. Quiet, be quiet. let's see. So, okay, the big news is one of the big like warning signs, I should say, the warning sign. Pay attention, the warning sign is that Mike Johnson was chosen by the Republicans to become Speaker of the House. Why is this important? Because Mike Johnson, remember those people I told you about that are like Neon Genesis Evangelion? They like Sele. They want to like destroy the world and turn everyone into goo. Remember those people? that whole thing is based loosely on Revelations, in the Bible. So just like that Sele exists in the anime to destroy the world, to like kill everyone in the world, so too does the United States have a group called conservative evangelicals who want to also destroy the world, kill everyone in the world. they're same thing, doomsday prophet. They're doomsday people. And the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is one of those people. He's one of those people. He follows the white idol, and he wants to. Where'd he go? Yo, my dude, did I lose you? Did my fences confuse you so that you ran away? What's happening? Oh, there you are. Okay. Just want to make sure you're safe. I lost the last guy, man. I don't want to use another person. Cold. Oh. I wonder if the last guy froze to death. I should watch out for that. Don't freeze to death, dude. Right there. Yeah, it's entirely... I don't know, like, if this guy is all that smart about being safe, but okay. Anyways, I need a bed too. It's loud. Okay. What are you doing? Oh, hey, enjoying the view of the sunrise. I have to go higher. What she's doing? Ah, he's like, I'm trying to see the sunrise, man. Go up again. Hey, what's that? Looks like Enderman poop. Enderman poop. Yeah, I guess it's good to, like, first thing in the morning, sweep the temple, get rid of all that Enderman poop. He's showing me the ropes here. That's what's going on. Oh, okay. I thought I was teaching him. He's teaching me. Man, something. Having a hard time. It's all bad news, man. I mean, it's not bad news. It's super heavy. Who wants to deal with heavy stuff? Who wants to listen to it? Like, I got no one watching my stuff. I have a beautiful stream, right? It's beautiful. It's fun. It's nice. No one's watching. No one cares. F-16s, man. F-16s coming to Ukraine. Coming soon. End of the war. Coming soon. Ugh. Alright, buckle up. Buckle up, man. Go on to the next. You got this. You can do it. 1020 for a while. Let's see. Please observe the like beautiful graphics, right? Look at how beautiful this is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's see. In my little folder here. So Mike Johnson is, I was telling you, Mike Johnson's a bad guy.
Mr. Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Will you speak?
So the question was, Mike Johnson, you led the efforts to overturn the 2020 elections. Go back to that. Mr. Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to, what was that?
Mr. Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Will you speak?
Oh! So all of these Republicans, in response to being called out for trying to stage a coup, jeer at the reporter. This woman in particular told the reporter to shut up. Who is this person?
Shut up. Next question. Next question.
Say what? So try that one more time.
Mr. Johnson, you helped lead the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Will you speak?
Shut up. Next question. Next question.
So, in other words, he's like, oh, you're calling me out. I've got my entire fucking gang behind me. We're going to ignore you through power. Because fundamentally, Republicans don't give a shit about the people, about democracy, about transparency, about anything. They're all about power. So, yeah, he was instrumental in a failed power grab. Next, he doesn't want to talk about it, right? Because he doesn't want to be held responsible for it. So, and that woman, he's not alone. He had support. That woman told the press to shut up. Imagine if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told a reporter to shut up. Imagine. I mean, you don't have to imagine. It would never happen, because if it did, they'd get destroyed by the media. But it's everyday shit from Republicans. They're given a free pass by the media. You want to talk about fucking conservative media? What side's the media on? Okay, what else do I got here? So who is this like woman? Who is this Rep. Virginia Fox? North Carolina chairwoman. She's a Confederate. She's a Confederate. She too is part of, I mean, she was defending the guy for him trying to do a coup. Why would she be defending that guy? Well, I mean, look at where she's from. Right? She's from the North Carolina. Look at the deal that they drew for North Carolina. So according to Stephen Wolf, North Carolina GOP advanced a new congressional gerrymander with 10 safe GOP seats, 3 safe Dem seats, and 1 GOP trending swing district in a key swing state. It would be among America's most extreme gerrymanders and replace a court-drawn map that went 7 Democrat, 7 Republican in 2022. In other words, the state is 50-50. Remember how I told you about how you can draw borders in order to maximize your power, even though the so for a democracy, you want the government to reflect the people. But if you don't care about democracy and all you want is power, you don't care about what the government looks like. You want it to give you power. So Republicans, and I guess you could say the same thing to the people in Maryland, right? Maryland has another really, really gerrymandered district, super gerrymandered, right? So it's not just one side doing it; both sides are doing it. But the ideal would be to eliminate it, and I don't know how to do that. If I did, I would tell you. Anyways, she's from this state that is disenfranchising basically half the people that live there. So she's a bad person.
Thank you. I yield back.
Madam Speaker, I ask for the gentleman's word to be taken down.
Members are reminded to direct their remarks to the chair.
Madam Speaker, I ask for the gentleman's words to be taken down. I am not a hypocrite.
What? You're not a hypocrite? What?
With all due respect, ma'am, you are.
Gentlemen will suspend.
Madam Speaker.
I mean, she's trying to overthrow democracy. She's a Confederate. She comes from a Confederate state. Well, Confederate-controlled state. Well, the Republicans there are for sure Confederates. Man, I mean, yeah. So Mike Johnson, what did he do? House Judiciary. Mike Johnson attacked Roe v. Wade, insisting that if only women were compelled to bring more able-bodied workers into the world, Republicans wouldn't need to slash Social Security and Medicare. So he thinks women are just like baby-making factories. That's why they shouldn't be allowed to control their own bodies. Because what's good for white Americans is good for the state. Ooh, that's a terrible admission to make. That means you're equating white supremacy with the state. Uh-oh, we're supposed to have a democracy. What are you doing, dude? You're supposed to be representing democracy. What are you doing, dude? Not representing democracy. Fuck. All right. What am I talking about? Mike Johnson said, President Trump called me on December 9th of 20. So this is after the 20 election. Donald Trump has already lost all his stuff. And this is Mike Johnson, Rep. Mike Johnson, swooping in to save the day. How is Mike Johnson saving the day? Well, he says, President Trump called me this morning to let me know how much he appreciates the amicus brief we are filing on behalf of members of Congress. Indeed, this is the big one. So, in other words, he knows that this is a coup. Because Donald Trump says we will be intervening in the Texas plus many other states case. This is the big one. Our country needs a victory, which he never gets. He lost 60 court cases, homie. You lost 60 court cases. So, what is an amicus brief? Proud, he says, Rep. Mike Johnson, proud to lead over 100 of my colleagues in filing an amicus brief to express our concern with the integrity of the 2020 election and in our election system in the future. We believe this suit filed by Texas, supported by 17 other states, merits full and careful consideration by SOTUS. So he's basically asking SOTUS, Supreme Court, to overturn the election. Amicus, this is December 10th, right? He filed this with a bunch of other people to overturn the election. Where's amicus brief definition? What is an amicus brief? The term amicus curiae is a Latin phrase that literally means friend of the court. The term is used to refer to a legal brief called an amicus brief that may be filed with an appellate court, including a Supreme Court, by a party not involved with a current case, but in support of one side or another on the legal issue at hand. Amicus briefs are commonly filed in appeals regarding matters of broad public interest, such as civil rights cases broadly affecting such institutions as education or the powers of law enforcement, to explore this. So in other words, it's a brief filed with an appellate court by an individual or entity who is not a party to the litigation, but who has an interest in the court's decision. So this guy obviously is not party to the Trump's court cases trying to overturn the election, but he's filing a brief in support of Donald Trump to overturn the election. Well, that guy, that lawyer dude, who filed a legal document saying why it's okay to disenfranchise millions of Americans, why it's okay, that guy is now Speaker of the House. That guy is a fucking slaver. Mike Johnson, Mike Johnson says in a tweet, late yesterday, the Louisiana Department of Health informed abortion facilities in our state that the right to whatever. So he's like, oh yeah, we get to imprison doctors now, yay! So he's an abortionist. He's not an abortionist. He's a slaver, but he's also wants to reduce women to biological units of reproduction of white supremacy. That's what he wants to do. He's a bad guy. Okay, Mike Johnson, super bad guy. Okay, real quick. The U.S. economy grows at 4.9%, but for now, the United States is outperforming other large economies in part because of its aggressive fiscal response to the pandemic, and in part because it has been more insulated from the impact of the Ukraine war on energy prices. Oh, the impact of the Ukraine war, the Russian invasion of Ukraine on energy prices. Okay. So we're talking about the Eurozone and UK certainly looking like being on the cusp of a recession, if not already in a recession, said Andrew Hunter, deputy U.S. economist for Capitalist Economics, an analyst firm. The U.S. is still the global outlier. So they're saying that the economy is fucking booming in the United States, partly because of its aggressive fiscal response to the pandemic, and in part because it has its own energy. So the UK and the Eurozone don't have their own energy. They have to import it from other places. And it used to be for Germany and for the Eurozone, it used to be Russia. But now they don't do that anymore. Where do they get their energy from? Well, it's real expensive to liquefy natural gas, keep it refrigerated, and send it over the ocean to be offloaded and used by Europe. You don't get that much, right? It's expensive and it takes a long time, and like it's just inefficient. But that's what they're doing because it sucks, and because that's the only way they can get it. There was supposed to be a pipe. They were hoping, right? They were hoping they could build a pipe from Qatar through like I gotta look at a map. Before I start talking shit, let me look at a map. They were gonna do a pipe through the NATO countries, I guess, or through like allies at least, and from Qatar all the way over to Europe, to the EU. And then once it got into the EU, then the EU would take over like the transportation of the natural gas. But the problem was Syria. Syria is right in the middle of it, and they like you can't do it if Syria is on Team Russia. Why? Because Russia has its own pipe and doesn't want Europe to get a different supplier. That supplier would be Qatar. So Russia, through its proxy Syria, Assad Bashar, is blocking it. And there's like a war there now. So ISIS is in the area, like causing shit, and then people who don't like living under a dictatorship are fighting Assad, and then Assad is fighting to hold on control, and he's getting help from Russia. And he already used chemical weapons against his own people. Like he's a bad guy. He's a super bad guy. Anyways, so that failed, right? That failed. So there's no natural gas pipe from Qatar to Europe. They can't do it. And the one they were getting from Russia is not happening anymore because Russia's a bad guy now. Well, they realize that Russia's a bad guy. And so the only place they can get natural gas is from the United States. And the only way the United States can get the natural gas over to Europe is through what's it called? By ship, which is real expensive. And to do it that way. So that causes, so what I'm saying is it's causing the whole Eurozone and UK zone economies to retract there, because energy prices are fucking key, dude. Like everyone talks inflation, but that's because energy is more expensive now. Like not only are the corporations extracting profit, but energy is more expensive. So that makes, but the USA is insulated because it produces its own energy. So like we don't have to ship it across, we don't have to receive it from another person, in a liquefied form, pressurized form, so that we could feed it to our people, the little tiny, they get little tiny sips. You see what you see, whereas in the United States, it literally comes out of the ground. I wonder if you could like encapsulate a garbage dump, and that way you keep all, because garbage, there's a landfill in Oregon that's emitting methane, too much methane. Methane is like, it's combustible as heck. Couldn't you somehow like capture that methane and then like convert it to like natural gas or something? I don't know. Use it to power stuff instead of levying. I mean, well, that'd be burning it. I guess that'd be bad. I don't know. Oh shit. So the United States is buffered by its own energy. It's actually it's not. It was expected to go into a recession, and it's not. It's not going into recession. I hear people saying like, rah rah rah. Why are we giving funds to Ukraine? This is a great meme to explain it. I saw it from Bob's Burgers Urbanist. Well, I saw it from SK Media. Okay. Instead of sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, the government should give those resources to my city. The government gives Philadelphia $10 billion worth of Soviet-era weaponry and tanks. Me. Pikachu face. Pikachu surprise face. When they say $10 billion worth of aid, that's what they're talking about. The old stuff. It's the old stuff. Not the stuff, and not stuff, and it's not cash. They're not giving you cash. They're giving you like credit. Like here's like X amount of billions of dollars worth of equipment, and here's X amount of credit for maintenance and parts on your equipment. Where are you going to get those maintenance and parts? From the United States. It's not like people, so in other words, it's not like the United States is literally taking money out of funds that would go to like starving children and stuff. No, it's you getting rid of its old stuff and signing contracts to maintain that old stuff for money. Well, whatever. That's the thing. That money is not even there to take. It's not there to take. It used to be there. It used to be there. Not used to be there. But like, remember when there was the child tax credit? Everyone with a kid had like a huge tax credit to help pay for the kid. Everyone who had a kid just got it. And it like totally reduced child poverty, completely destroyed it. Like didn't destroy it, but it reduced child poverty. And then when it came time to renew it, Joe Manchin and the Republicans said, nah, we don't like feeding kids. And they stopped it. They stopped the child tax credit. Short-sightedness. Short-sightedness. Okay. What else do I got here? Anyways, I think that's it. I spent a lot of time playing Minecraft. I probably should spend more time with humans. That raid farm didn't build itself. Okay. Well, I think the United States should use its influence to stop the state of Israel from invading Palestine. I mean, it already is. Withdrawal, stop. I mean, it's ethnic cleansing. It's literally what's happening. Ethnic cleansing. Settler nation behavior. Of which I'm a part. What can I do to stop it? Hamas would ask me to join them in their crusade and do violence, or help them do violence. And I'm like, nope, that's not the way. Because the violence put back is even worse. But the mere existence of the conditions imposed upon the people itself is a form of violence. The checkpoints put on the Palestinian people, the restrictions of their movement, the loss of their land to squatters, to settlers, who are then protected by the state. That's a form of violence too. Yeah, the kidnappings of Hamas were absolutely wrong. It's terrorism. But also is the imprisonment of Palestinian youth. Like, how many Palestinian youths are in prison? I mean, that's a form of hostage taking too. And then the homes of their families are destroyed. That's a form of collective punishment. Like, why do I come back to this? It's fundamental. I think it's fundamental, right? It's fundamental. Israel is shielded by the United States, and under this shielding, Israel is going to commit ethnic cleansing, the same kind of ethnic cleansing committed by the nation shielding it. It's the same sin being perpetuated throughout time. Again, why? For what? The answer is clear, right? We have an institution to take care of it, the UN. But the United States is blocking it. Joe Biden owns this. Biden provided the umbrella. Or not the umbrella, the shield. I don't know what to do or say. Is there anything? I'm grateful for the cold weather. I keep my apartment cold. And this is good because my video card is at 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Celsius. It has to dump that heat somehow. And the way it does is it takes the ambient air and blows it against the heat sink to carry to transfer the heat from the graphics card and put it into the air, which then gets flushed out into the ambient atmosphere, which is my apartment. So it acts as a space heater. It's my space heater. It's really nice right now. to like not be sweating, or have windows open or whatever, or having to deal with like a lot of heat. I can overclock my video card and like it's not gonna die. Yeah. Yeah. We've got to heal this problem. We have bigger fish to fry. Climate change. Get off of our energy source, man. Like, we gotta stop using oil. Like, this whole conflict, I don't know. I wonder if this conflict is related to oil. I mean, why does Israel have the state of Israel? Why does the state of Israel have a town way down there on the tip of the Persian Gulf? Why not just give that to the Palestinian people? Oh, because it's very strategic, and Israel is an ally. So, see, real politics, are disgusting. The only reason why the area is of any interest is because of oil. If we can get off of oil, then we could greatly reduce tensions in the area. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking shit. I don't know. I'm just looking for some hope. Looking for some hope. I mean, I'm not like sad and depressed about it. I mean, I'm sad, but like, yeah. Doing what I can. Alright, free Palestine! I gotta make a flag. Oh boy. Okay, until next time. Pogo Kiddo out. Peace. Stop.